Well, the button says go live. Back in the wee hours of the morning of December 13th, in the illustrious, effervescent, illuminated year of the Lord, 1948, my mother pressed go live on my ass, and I've been nursing on the tit of life ever since. Boy, that was a great intro, huh? Anyhow, this is the Ted Nugent Spirit Campfire, and you know, there's not a damn thing you can do about it, so you might as well just sit back and relax and just join me in this orgy of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Isn't this like the ultimate American dream tangent? I mean, God invented this wonderful, miraculous creation. You might as well approach it with maximum gusto, gonzo, piss and vinegar. I see a lot of people coming on here. I thought I would say hi. The dogs killed Poindexter here in the swamp last week, so I stole his glasses. Denise and Craig and David and Chad and Kurt and John and Kara and Carol and Pierre and Trey and Mark and Rosemarie and Michael and Dina Butler. Greetings all. It's a rainy, snotty, nasty, beautiful, drenched pucker brush swamp orgy out there this morning. I don't even know what I said. I know what I said because it is just stimulating in the Nugent swamp. I have a fen. Now, I've talked about this before, but I might as well take a moment on the Ted Nugent Spirit Campfire, brought to you by MyPillow.com with the code SPIRIT. That's right. This Ted Nugent Spirit Campfire joyous celebration of life, liberty, and the pursuit of gonzo, rock and roll, rhythm and blues, American dream, piss and vinegar, middle finger, on fire happiness is actually brought to you by the great, courageous founding father of the Clusterfuck 21, Mike Lindell. So go to MyPillow.com, type in the code SPIRIT, and buy a truckload of his shit. Because as you support Mike Lindell and Ted Nugent, it drives the worst people in the world nuts. What is that? Well, I don't know how it sounds right there, but it really sounds wonderful here. This is a Gibson Birdland. Anyhow, an educational moment on the Ted Nugent Spirit Campfire. A fen. There are many wonderful, inspiring, life-giving, air, soil, and water clarifying, cleansing, and maximum healthy production by various habitats in the world. And I own them all. No, really, I own a desert. I own a pecan grove. I own a marsh. I own a swamp. I own agriculture ground. I own forests. I planted forests. That's why you love these 10 digits of doom. That's why I So let's get back to the habitat, shall we? Since that's the soundtrack for a man who wears out a pair of lacrosse rubber boots, heavy-duty insulated lacrosse rubber boots. I wear them out every year. You know, there are no professional game department biologists, bureaucrats that wear out a pair of heavy-duty insulated lacrosse rubber boots every year because they're in their office checking out the computer screen to see what the turkey population is. Which is why they make country music for people like that. Anyhow, I'm going to keep the guitar handy. A fen I own, along with all those other diverse ecosystems, and all of them perfectly healthy, by the way. We minimize, if not reduce and eliminate, the pesticides and herbicides on the Nugent sacred grounds. We're a cleansing attribute to the good Mother Earth of God's miraculous wild nature creation, and I participate hands-on therein with aplomb. Look it up. But the fen, unlike the forests and the swamps and the marshes and the deserts and the prickly pear cactus and the eternal pine forest and coniferous and deciduous plantations that clean your air, soil, and water. Thank you very much, Uncle Ted. You're welcome. My pleasure. I had a lot of fun doing it. I actually got high, plunging my sacred 10 digits of doom into the cleavage of Mother Earth and fondling her buxomous spirit. I hope you people are recording this because I want you to play it back for somebody, which reminds me, this is the Ted Nugent Spirit Campfire in the middle of the day. What is it? It's just 11 o'clock, 11:04. In the sacred, mushy muck, spitting, nasty, beautiful, refreshing, life-giving October 4? The 4th day of the Fred Bear bow and arrow hunting season in Michigan. We'll get to that in a minute. But anyhow, beyond the ultimate diversity of my wildlife habitat and air, soil, water cleansing Nugent land that we own, actually we rented from the government because, when I paid taxes on my property when I bought it, those were the taxes. They were probably illegal and immoral to begin with, maybe to fund Planned Parenthood so we can slaughter black infants. There's a tangent that'll piss a guy off. Well, that's racist. No, I'd like to save black infants, not kill them. But they take my hard-earned tax dollars and give it to Planned Parenthood so they can make an extra $1 billion in profit, slaughtering the unborn. That's a tangent, but it's conducive to the end game of explaining habitat, because I paid taxes when I bought the property, just like I registered my Hellcat when I bought my Hellcat from Max Motors in the heartland. Max Motors, they stand up for God, family, country, First Amendment, Second Amendment. Max Motors in Kansas City. If you're going to buy a car or a truck, buy it from Max Motors, because Mark Mueller and his team stand up for these God-given family traditions. Support those who support us. And I'll go on a tangent in a moment. But anyhow, I'm getting back to the fen, but first talking about, I paid taxes when I bought my land. I paid taxes and I registered my vehicle. Why would I have to pay taxes again this year? I already paid taxes. The transaction was done. The car's registered. That's my name. That's the VIN number. Why do I have to register it again? What a scam. What a ripoff. See how we have bent over? I paid for my land in 1970. Why do I have to rent it from the government? Well, I have to pay taxes every year. Why is that? I pay taxes on the transaction. The transaction is complete. It's over. It's mine. Never heard it put that way before, have you? Because this is the Ted Nugent Spirit Campfire. I am not a bureaucrat. In fact, during a bad case of spoiled Mexican food, my diarrhea has more soul than the bureaucrats. Is that emphatic enough? Is that graphic enough? After a case of bad, putrid, spoiled Mexican food. I love Mexican food. Love the Mexicans. Marco Mendoza, my favorite human being. But if they're climbing the wall in the Alamo, anyhow. So even after a bad case of toxic food and my diarrhea literally sneezes on the ferns. I swear to God, my ass has actually sneezed on the ferns for about 4 acres. The results of toxic food. And when I spray the ferns with dangerous-looking liquid diarrhea, it has more soul than the bureaucrats. See, this is worth it. This is worth going to Mike Lindell and buying his stuff just to get this Nugent Spirit Campfire. In fact, you know what? If you love this entertainment, because I'm a funny mother, you got to admit, come on. I just signed 1,000 of these the other day. If you want these, come and take it. Come and take it. I will not comply. I will not comply. Go to tednugent.com, and we're having a stupid sale. Put in Nuge21, and you can get these hats. But that's how you get this fantastic podcast. See, most people have a podcast, but because it's the Ted Nugent Spirit Campfire, it's more of a pudcast. I cast pudness. So I own this fen, and I paid taxes on it when I bought it. A fen is a unique wetlands, kind of like Joe Biden's bed, but there's clean things growing on my wetlands. It's awesome. Is that just fucking awesome? So my wetlands is a variation and a confluence, a meeting, shall we say, a juncture, a juxtaposition of marsh, swamp, fen. And in the fen, because it has a unique muckness, kind of like a peat, when you buy peat, why do they come up? Who came? You know this black marshy goo right here? Let's call it Jim. No, that doesn't make sense. I'll call it Farnsworth. No, let's call it Pete. So when you buy peat, you can buy Pete Moss. That's Kate's dad. So when you buy peat, it comes from a fen, I think, when they dredge it out of there. But I don't let them dredge shit from my property, because I want my property to be miraculously eco. And on the fen grows the otherwise endangered Christmas tree fern on the Ted Nugent fen, where the marsh meets the swamp, where you can extract peat if I let you, but I won't. So from the fen is a unique flora and fauna known as the Christmas tree fern. And there's a botanist will tell you. It's out of tune. As the botanist and the biologist will tell you, they come and study my fen on an annual basis because they say this is the best, healthiest fen we've ever seen. You know why? Because I kill a lot of deer. And I trap coons and skunks and possum and beaver and mink and muskrats. So I keep balance. I harvest the surplus to maintain balance, so the Christmas tree fern is thriving on my fen, and that, they claim, is the habitat that optimizes the productivity of the Mitchell's satyr butterfly. Hey, I wrote Wango Tango and do this. What a great lick, huh? Come on, boys! Wango Tango! Wango Tango! Another rock and roll outrageous tangent just brought to you by the fen. So the Mitchell satyr butterfly thrives on my fen because the Christmas tree fern thrives on my fen because I eat a lot of venison. It's a circle of life. I happen to be right there in the middle of it. And I get high on the circle and the cycle of life, which is why I'm able to get these tangents for your entertainment/educational enjoyment. It's unique. So if you really appreciate this, go to tednugent.com and buy one of them suckers. I'll tell you, when you keep something like this in your pocket, it's a challenge coin. I give them away by the thousands to the heroes of military and law enforcement. I sent one to a young man going to the Navy SEAL boot camp. His mom and dad got a hold of me, and I did a cameo for him, the best cameo on the planet, cameo.com, I think it is. But I also sent him a Nugent coin, but I'm not going to give you all a Nugent coin. You can buy them at tednugent.com. The code for this sale is NUGE21. Anyhow, I play my guitar every day. I think it's a 64. Hey, Todd, what is this, a 64? It's number 8. But it has a great tone, huh? By the way, I'll go on another tangent. So anyhow, go to tednugent.com, type in the code NUGE21, and get ready to do all your Christmas shopping there. Coolest shit in the world. These flags, these come and take it flags, I just signed another couple thousand of those. And I just said goodbye to Sean and Justin and Michael. Sean, Justin, and Michael, you guys deserve me. Barack. They had the most unbelievable gift from God deer hunt, Barack, in the history of the world. And they're great musicians. And Sean and Justin brought their bass guitar and their drums. And here in the Man Cave Cuckoo's Nest ammo dump arsenal of democracy, the Ted Nugent barn, the swamp headquarters, the fen of life, Sean and Justin and I cranked out Stranglehold, and Michael was just not of this world. Because Sean, you did great. Great bass playing. And Justin, you got the Motown Funk Brother groove, son. Thank you for sharing my campfire here. We had a great hunt. So those hunts are all gone this year. They're all sold out. And the hunters had the time of their life shot. Great bucks. We had great food. George, thanks for the great food. Jim and Paul and Toby, thank you for the incredible world-class, the greatest fun deer camp in the history of the world. Now every weekend we have hog hunters coming to kill many pigs. And boy, do I have a pig story for you. But I'm going to save that for tonight, because you're going to get a hold of everybody you know, and you're going to tell them to come to the Ted Nugent Spirit Campfire tonight. I don't know what time, maybe before I hunt. In fact, it's going to be so nasty and rainy tonight, maybe I'm not going to be able to hunt. And I will tell you the story of my Viet Cong pig slaughter on the driveway coming in last night, because some angry, pissed off pigs escaped a recent game preserve nearby, and they're running amok in my fen. And last night, with my Glock Model 20 10 millimeter loaded up with Remington terminal ammo, I used this last night, and in a flurry of pig Congness, I think I killed 8 or 9 of them. It was a swamp jungle run. It was just awesome. Wait till you hear the gory details. So come back here tonight. I'm going to guess around 5. I probably won't be able to hunt because of the Snot Fest. I'm a big fan of the Snot Fest, but I like to hunt in between the Snot Fests because you get wet and cold. And wet and cold is fun as long as you have a nice warm campfire. And this is the Ted Nugent Spirit Campfire, and you can feel the flames, can't you? Everybody loves the American campfire. Don't you hear it calling your name? Everybody loves the American... calling your name. Everybody loves the American campfire. Go ahead and fan the flame. We'll gather round you when the party's on. Family and friends are here. Pull up a stump, set yourself down. I light it by you all a beer. Everybody loves the American campfire. Don't you hear it calling your name? Everybody loves the American campfire. great lick. What a great record. Ted Nugent, Detroit Muscle, coming out soon. Well, the whole album won't be out till God knows when. I don't know how this industry works, but I don't like it. It should have already been out. Jason, Greg, Michael, Tim, Andy, we busted our ass to create the beast, killer, all-American shit kicker, rock and roll rhythm and blues. Ted Nugent, Detroit Muscle, coming soon, but not soon enough. But the first signal, come and take it. The first single, it's a love song. They're all love songs. Literally, because I love life. I love life. So we'll talk about Clusterfuck 21 and how to fix Clusterfuck 21 tonight on the Ted Nugent Spirit Campfire. So thank you for joining me temporarily here. And it is brought to you by Mike Lindell. So go to mypillow.com, type in the code SPIRIT, and buy his stuff. It drives the Marxists crazy, and that's our job. So thank you for the tangent celebration and the Fen lesson of ecological upgrade. I'm just a guitar player. I wrote Wango Tango, and I meant it. No, that really was autobiographical. My face is. Well, it used to be a Maserati. Now it's a Dodge Challenger Hellcat wide-body Super Sport Red Eye. And I would do traction tests on your soul. Ted Nugent Spirit Campfire. It's so much fun. It pisses idiots off. Literally, by having a great life, idiots get angry. So Michigan, let's take back Michigan from the Marxists, from the criminals, from the America-hating gangbangers of the Democrat Party. Michael Brown, state trooper warrior. Let's make him the next governor of Michigan and get these Marxist, America-hating monsters the hell out of Michigan so we're no longer included with New York, New Jersey, California, and Illinois. That's not us. Michael Brown, get everybody you know to vote this guy for governor. Come on. And Tom Leonard for attorney general. Come on. We'll talk about the details tonight. Meanwhile, if you're not having fun with me, you're weird. You're really and stupid. So thanks for joining me. Tangents are fun, especially my tangents, because my tangents, as they come out of my ass with flames running beyond your wildest dreams, you can actually cook meat on the flames coming out of my ass. The flames of truth, logic, common sense, we the people, middle fingers on fire. It's an Uncle Ted truth, logic, common sense celebration.